In today's video, we're diving deep into Vietnam's hidden wonders and weird phenomena. Get ready to uncover 25 unique facts that will leave you amazed and intrigued. Number 25. Mekong River Delta. The Mekong River Delta is a special place in Vietnam where lots of tasty rice and fish come from. It's full of water, which is really important for life. The delta is between Ho Chi Minh City and Cambodia. There are many rivers and streams here, like in a mystery story. The Mekong River starts in China, then goes through Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, and finally reaches Vietnam. That's a long journey. No wonder the water seems like it has stories to share. But the delta isn't just about water. It's a busy place where Vietnamese culture is alive and well. It's like a big outdoor market, but instead of walking on aisles, you go through waterways. More than half of Vietnam's rice and a lot of its fish come from here. But it's not just rice and fish. You can find all sorts of fruits, vegetables, flowers, and even animals here. Number 24. Communal smoking. People in Vietnam really like to smoke together. It's a big part of their social life. But the government is trying to make things better by making strict rules about where you can smoke. You can easily find cigarettes in Vietnam because they're sold everywhere, even in small shops and big cities like Ho Chi Minh City. But let's talk about the real stuff. The tobacco in Vietnam isn't like the regular kind you might find elsewhere. It's made from a strong plant called Mecosana rustica, and people usually smoke it through a water pipe. It gives a quick, dizzy feeling, but can also make you feel sick. Its popularity has gone down because it's not good for your health, and there have been some serious problems because of it. Number 23. Porcupine eating. In Vietnam, a place known for trying different foods, people eat porcupines. This is not common in Western countries. Porcupines have spiky skin, but inside they have tasty meat that some say is like duck. Even though they're tough to handle, once you remove the spikes, porcupine meat is enjoyed by many in Vietnam. People there eat all sorts of unusual things like dog, crocodile, and even half-grown chicken eggs. Cooking porcupine meat is seen as a special skill, and it costs about $30 for 1 kilogram. Be careful if you find cheap porcupine meat. It might be illegal and bad for the environment. Number 22. Truong Son Mountain Range. From Quang Binh to the Central Highlands, the Truong Son Mountain Range is big and beautiful across Vietnam. It has tall peaks and windy paths like Yang Gang and Haeng. This range has many interesting rocks, cultures, and stories. Different groups of people, like the Chut and Palm, live here. They are part of Vietnam's old history. It's like a big museum of people and their ways of life. There's also a famous trail here called the Ho Chi Minh Trail. It helped people during a hard time called the Anti-American War. The Truong Son isn't just mountains and trees. It's a mix of different rocks and climates. Even though there have been wars and trees cut down, it still has a strong rainforest that keeps growing. Number 21. Weaving and eating silkworms. Silkworms are special bugs that make beautiful fabric. In Vietnam, especially in the Subin Highlands, they have a double job. People there use these bugs to make silk, and they also eat them. Making silk from silkworms is interesting. First, the cocoons, which are like little houses the worms make, are boiled. This stops the worms from growing, but saves the silk inside. Skilled people then spin the silk into threads. These threads are used to make pretty cloth. But there's more to the story. Vietnamese people don't waste anything. After the silkworms are cooked, they turn them into a crunchy and tangy snack. It's a unique experience to eat them because they're crunchy outside and gooey inside. Some people might find the taste strange, but it's part of the adventure. Number 20. Dong Van Plateau. The Dong Van Karst Plateau in Ha Giang Province is a big area of land, about 2356 square kilometers. It's a very special place in Southeast Asia. It has tall limestone rocks, steep cliffs, and peaks that have been around for a very long time. This shows how old our Earth is, but there's more to it. This place is also full of different cultures. Many different kinds of people live here, and they have their own traditions and ways of life. If you like adventures, Dong Van is the place for you. You can explore its rough land or enjoy the old towns. One special place is the Lon Flag Tower, which gives you a great view of Vietnam. Dong Van Ancient Town is like going back in time. Every street and market is full of history from long ago. Number 19. Pajama fashion. When you land in Vietnam, you might notice something unique about fashion. Women there often wear pajamas during the day. But not just any pajamas. They wear all sorts of styles, like full-length button-ups or chic shorts with t-shirts. These pajamas aren't just for sleeping, they're a fashion statement. They're similar to the juicy couture tracksuits popular in the West, but people also sleep in them. This trend isn't just a passing fad, it's a regular choice, especially in rural areas. Even in cities like Hanoi, where global fashion trends are popular, pajama style remains important. Older women, especially those over 35, love wearing them, but younger people wear them too, especially for quick trips to the store. This fashion choice often reflects people's income levels. Street vendors and lower-paid workers prefer pajamas for their practicality and comfort. It's their everyday outfit, blending function with unique style. Number 17. Karaoke culture. Karaoke is really popular in Vietnam, especially in big cities like Ho Chi Minh City. It's not just something people do for fun, it's a big part of the culture there. Imagine this, on almost every street corner, you can find a place to sing your favorite songs, no matter what time it is. In cities like Ho Chi Minh and Hanoi, where there are lots of motorbikes zooming around, you can still hear people singing karaoke. There are fancy karaoke bars everywhere, where you can go any night of the week to have a good time. But what's special about karaoke in Vietnam is that everyone loves it. It doesn't matter if you're good at singing or not. Karaoke is something people do together at work parties, home gatherings, school events, and even at funerals. Its popularity started growing in the 90s when technology made it easier for Vietnamese lyrics to be shown while singing along to instrumental tracks. Number 16. Weasel Poo Coffee. Vietnam, a big player in the coffee world, surprises people with its special coffee called ton. It's a fancy coffee that's been through a weasel. While Vietnam sells a lot of instant coffee, this unique weasel poo coffee is getting attention. Here's what's happening. Weasels eat coffee berries, but only the best ones end up in their food. After digestion, the beans come out with a new and improved flavor. After cleaning and roasting them well, these beans become a coffee lover's dream. It's famous for its deep chocolate taste and a strong kick that wakes you up instantly. Some people love it, while others don't. But if you're willing to spend $90 for 100 grams, getting a cup at the source for $275 is a good deal. Number 15. Bac Man National Park. Bac Man National Park is a beautiful place in Vietnam. It's between two big cities called Hue and Dang. People who love nature really like it there. It's famous for its peaceful landscapes and lots of different plants and animals. The park is in the northern part of Vietnam, in a big mountain range called the Northern Annamite Range. Bac Man has tall mountains and thick forests that many people who love nature want to explore. A French engineer named N. Gerard found the park in 1932. Since then, people have found many different kinds of plants and animals there. Bac Man is special because it's where the northern and southern parts of Vietnam meet. This makes it a great place for all kinds of plants and animals to live. The name Bac Man comes from the mist that covers the high mountains, which looks like a white horse to local people. The park is full of green plants and has rivers and peaceful lakes. Visitors can climb to the top of the highest mountain, which is 1,448 meters tall, and see amazing views of the park. Number 14. Gan Da Dia. Gan Da Dia is like Vietnam's version of the Giant's Causeway. It's hidden away from popular paths, close to Ta Ho in Phu Yen province. Not many tourists know about it, so mostly locals visit. What's interesting about Gan de Dia is how it formed. Scientists still argue about it. Many think it was made by ancient volcanoes, shaping molten basalt into cool shapes that look like beehives. There are over 35,000 pieces of this rocky puzzle spread across the area. Walking among these tall pillars and flat rocks feels like exploring a natural art gallery. Plus, there's a calm beach nearby, so visiting Gan de Dia isn't just about the cool rocks, but also enjoying peaceful seaside vibes. Number 13. Marble Mountain. Marble Mountain is only 8 kilometers away from the busy city center of Dang. It's a peaceful place where you can see beautiful natural sculptures and learn about spiritual beliefs. These mountains are made of limestone and they have a special story. People say they were created from a dragon's egg, which adds to their mysterious feeling. The mountains were named by Emperor Min-Mang in 1825. Each peak represents one of the 5 elements: metal, water, fire, wood, and earth. They are not just pretty to look at, but they also have a deep meaning in Vietnamese culture. One of the important spots here is Len Un Pagoda, which has a big Buddha statue and a tall tower called Shaloi Tower. Number 12. Sand dunes in Mui Nhi. In Mui Nhi, a peaceful beach town in southern Vietnam, there are lots of things to enjoy if you like beaches, kite surfing, or seafood. Besides the calm beaches, there's a really cool place called the Fairy Stream. It's like a mini Grand Canyon with colorful cliffs and waterfalls. But the most amazing thing in Mui Nhi is its sand dunes. The red ones are close to the city and look stunning against the blue sky. If you go a bit further, you'll find white sand dunes that feel like a real desert, just a short distance from the ocean. Watching the sunset here is like seeing a beautiful painting in the sky. And if you're up for some adventure, you can try sandboarding on these dunes. It's like snowboarding, but on sand. Rent a board, slide down the dunes, and have a blast. Number 11. Cu Chi Tunnels. Near Ho Chi Minh City, there's a big underground network called Cu Chi Tunnels. During the Vietnam War, Viet Cong soldiers made these tunnels to trick their enemies. They weren't just hiding spots, they showed how strong and smart they were. Starting in the late 1940s, Viet Cong dug these tunnels to fight against the French. As the Vietnam War got bigger in the 1960s, they made the tunnels longer, about 250 kilometers from Saigon to the border of Cambodia. These tunnels were like an underground town. There were homes, hospitals, shelters from bombs, and places where leaders made plans. American and South Vietnamese soldiers fought against Viet Cong in these tunnels. They had special soldiers called tunnel rats who went into the small tunnels to find traps and fight the enemy. Number 10. Vietnamese water puppets. Long ago, in Vietnam's Red River Delta, people made special puppets to play in water. This happened about 1,000 years ago. It started during the rice harvest time, when villagers were happy and celebrating. They used these puppets to make the festivals more fun. At first, these shows were in flooded fields. People stood in the water, hidden, and moved the puppets around. Over time, this puppetry became really popular. Even kings liked to watch it. By the 12th century, during the Lý Dynasty, it became a big deal. Nowadays, water puppetry is a famous part of Vietnamese culture. People from all over the world enjoy watching it, but being a puppeteer isn't easy. They have to be creative and strong. They stand in water for a long time, moving the puppets with bamboo sticks and strings. It takes many years to become really good at it. Number 9. Canyoning in Dalat. Canyoning in Dalat is not just an activity. It's an adventure that challenges you to jump beyond your fears for an amazing adrenaline rush. This exciting journey through Dalat's landscapes gives adventure enthusiasts and thrill seekers an experience they won't forget. You'll end up soaked, tired, but absolutely thrilled. We start with an 18-meter descent down Don Lo Waterfall, the first of 7 challenges. The initial descent is nerve-wracking yet exciting. But soon, it turns into a triumph filled with adrenaline, with icy waters below welcoming you. The adventure continues with zip lining across the waterfall, offering a unique view of Damat's natural beauty and a natural water slide that promises laughter and fun as you slide into the pool below. The climax of the day is the 25-meter waterfall descent, a daunting but rewarding challenge. Number 8. Hang Son Doong. Deep in Vietnam, there's a huge cave called Hang Son Doong. It's the biggest cave in the world. A local named Hole Cage found it in 1990, but it stayed a secret until a team from Britain and Vietnam, led by Howard Limbert, explored it in 2009. They were amazed by what they found. The cave is so big, it could fit a whole block of New York City inside. It's not just big, it's also beautiful. National Geographic and famous scientists like Dr. Tony Wallum love it. In 2013, it officially became the biggest cave in the world, according to the Guinness Book of World Records. Number 7. Hand of God. In the middle of Vietnam's central mountains, there's a very cool thing called the Hand of God. It looks like someone from Mars made it with really smart ideas. There's a bridge called the Golden Bridge, held up by two big stone hands. It looks like the hands are holding up a golden path in the air. People who see it get really excited because it looks so amazing. The bridge opened in June, and since then, lots of people want to go there. It was designed by some really smart people who wanted it to fit in with the special feeling of Bana Mountain. It's way up high, about 1,000 meters above the sea. When you walk on it, you feel like you're walking among the clouds, and you can see really pretty views below. The people who made it wanted it to feel like it's being held by giant hands of gods, and they wanted it to look like a golden strip stretching out from the land. They didn't expect it to become so famous all around the world. Number 6. Ghost money in Vietnam. In Vietnam, there's a special tradition called ghost money. People burn paper that looks like money and things like cars and gadgets to honor their dead relatives. It's a way to show respect and remember them. This tradition comes from a long time ago when people believed in worshipping their ancestors. They think that burning this special paper helps their ancestors be happy and rich in the afterlife. People can buy these paper items from shops in Vietnam and burn them as offerings. They hope that by doing this, they'll bring luck and good health to their families. Number 5. Round basket boat. In Vietnam, there are special boats called round basket boats. They were made to avoid paying taxes to the French who ruled Vietnam a long time ago. These boats became very popular among Vietnamese fishermen. They are also known as tong che or tung. Making these boats is like an art. Skilled workers spend many days making them. They use bamboo that has been dried in the sun because it's light and flexible. Then, they carefully weave the bamboo together and seal it with a mix that makes it waterproof. Sometimes, they use cow dung in the mix. Finally, they cover the boat with tree sap to make it strong enough for the sea. These basket boats are not just interesting because of their history. People also love them because they work well. Their round shape and lightweight make them easy to use. Fishermen can easily launch them from the beach and they stay stable even in big waves. But it takes some practice to learn how to steer them properly without spinning around. Number 4. My Son Sanctuary. The My Son Sanctuary is a special place in Vietnam, in a province called Quang. It shows how clever and important the ancient Cham people were. They lived a long time ago, from the 4th to the 13th centuries. The sanctuary is surrounded by big mountains and sits by the Chuong River, which is very important to them. The Cham people had a king called the Dua clan, and they built the sanctuary. Inside, there are tall temples dedicated to gods from Hinduism like Shiva, Vishnu, and Krishna. The Cham people followed Hinduism a lot, even though later Buddhism came too. But Hinduism stayed very strong in their beliefs and in the way they built things. The temples in My Son are very beautiful. They're made from a special kind of rock called sandstone. They have amazing carvings on them that tell stories. These temples were built to look like a special mountain called Mount Meru, which is sacred in Hinduism. It shows how smart the Cham people were in building and how much they believed in their religion. Number 3. Japanese Covered Bridge. Hoon's Japanese Covered Bridge is a special bridge that shows how two cultures, Japanese and Chinese, came together a long time ago. It was first built in the 1590s. The bridge still looks like it did back then, keeping its original Japanese style. When you visit, remember that if you want to go back in, you might need to show that you already used your Old Town ticket for the bridge. This bridge was made strong so it can survive earthquakes. At the entrance, there are statues of monkeys and dogs made of stone. People think these animals represent different things, like the years many Japanese emperors were born, or the years when the bridge was built. There are writings on the bridge that thank Vietnamese and Chinese people who helped fix it. These words are in an old script, showing how important the history of the bridge is. Number 2. A Buddha-themed amusement park. Imagine a special park where you can mix spirituality with excitement. Welcome to Shin Theme Park. It's near Hoi Minh City. Here, you can pray to a Buddha statue, then go on a Ferris wheel that looks like the colorful halos in Buddha pictures. But that's not all. You can also slide down a water slide that goes through a big carved face. This park makes fun extra special by adding a touch of spirituality. It's a different way to have fun with rides and enjoy the calmness of Buddhist pictures. Number 1. Cricket farms in Vietnam. Eating crunchy fried crickets with a cold beer is a fun thing to do at gatherings. They also serve fried butterflies and worms there. In the Dut region, they're famous for their cricket farms where they breed thousands of these tiny snacks. The crickets live in egg cartons with sugarcane branches until they're ready to be cooked. When you try them, they might surprise you with their delicious flavor and meaty texture. Even though it might seem weird at first, eating them can be strangely addictive. Thanks for joining us on this journey through Vietnam's fascinating landscapes and peculiarities. If you enjoyed exploring these hidden wonders with us, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting content. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.